Namaskar. We welcome you to the 11th episode of the series Udyamita Ki Or. This series is an initiative by National Center for Innovations in Distance Education, IGNOU. The aim is to foster a spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship among students and faculty in the university. The sessions are held fortnightly on the second and fourth Wednesday every month from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. The program presents discussions on various entrepreneurial opportunities available in different sectors by the experts. The viewers are provided information about the existing innovations and startups in a particular area, the possible entrepreneurial opportunities, and the funding opportunities available in the sector. So far, we have had sessions on innovation and entrepreneurship opportunities in allied biological sciences, poultry sector, waste management, food processing, disability, artificial intelligence, healthcare, and tourism sector. In today's session, we will be discussing the innovation in startups in environmental sciences. We have with us Dr. V. Venkatramanan, Assistant Professor, School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies, SOITS, IGNOU. He is presently coordinating the Postgraduate Certificate in Climate Change, MSc Environmental Sciences. His areas of interest are climate change studies, climate resilient agriculture, climate policy, environmental microbiology, and biodegradation. He is involved in many innovative initiatives in the university. We welcome you, sir, to this session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
We
you.
also have with us Dr. O.P. Sharma, Director NCIDE, IGNOU. He is an expert in the area of innovation and startups and is actively involved in these activities in the university. We welcome you, Dr. Sharma, to this session.
Thank you.
We are pleased to have the experts with us in this session. When we look at the Indian startup ecosystem, it is abuzz with innovation and energy. With the growing awareness of the need for environmental responsibility, there has been a significant rise in green startups, with climate change breaking temperature records every month and plastic pollution becoming a humongous problem. Sustainability and environmental friendliness have become crucial for our existence. From renewable energy to waste management and sustainable agriculture to eco-friendly transportation, Indian startups are leveraging technology and creativity to develop solutions that mitigate environmental harm and contribute to the country's economic growth. These startups are developing solutions for social issues ranging from drinking water crisis, agriculture issues, or problems triggered by climate change. Several startups across India have ventured into clean energy sector, bringing new innovations to the agriculture sector and rural households. To start the discussion, I would request Dr. V. Venkatramanan to please tell us about the areas where innovative solutions are required in this sector.
Thank you indeed. In fact, we had a quick note what all the discussions we had in the past. So today's discussion is yet another very important topic for a simple reason is that this topic is environmental sciences, wherein we are facing a lot of challenges. And particularly if you see in the last 5 decades, the issues like global change, global climate change, stratospheric ozone depletion, biodiversity loss, a lot of changes that is happening in the cycling of nutrients, and lastly the pollution problem, air pollution, soil pollution, land pollution, radioactive pollution. So to put it in a nutshell, a lot of issues are coming up in the last 5 decades, and particularly the main drivers were the human beings, their economic activities or industrial driven activities. So that is the reason why this kind of problems we are facing. And if you see, another important thing is that the population, if you see, we estimate by the year 2050 it will be 10.2 billion. So as the population rises, definitely the problems is going to increase, and at the same time the impact of the environmental problems that is going to aggravate. And this circumstances, if you look at it, we need to find a solution, and for that to happen, this particular discipline of environmental is very important. Why? Because when you look at this environmental science as a discipline, or for that matter all the innovations, innovative practices, everything, the nutshell is the science part of it. It means that how to address the issue of any problem, global problem or environmental problem. For that, the science of that particular problem, and we need to figure out the solutions also. For that, environmental sciences, and particularly today's discussion, is very, very important thing. And as I said, the challenges that you just mentioned about the major challenge that we are facing in this century is the global climate change. For simple reason is that this global climate change is going to impact every walk of human being, irrespective of their the background, whether they are economically superior or socioeconomically deprived. Everyone will be equally affected, and that is the reason why it is going to affect our existence. Human existence is going to be affected. And second important thing is that all the living organisms is going to be affected by climate change, and that is the reason why we are stating that we are in the era of sixth mass extinction. So that drastically we are eroding the biological, that's what you said, no, bio-based economy, and we are moving to that because biological based economy means definitely it is very close to the nature, and it is not going to cause any harm to the environment. So that kind of thing is happening now. So this biodiversity, loss of biodiversity, climate change, that is a very, very important discussion. And in that, if you look at it, the startup ecosystem, the startup culture is going to play a very pivotal role, and that you can see it for yourself. Since the year 2016, if you see, almost 1.2 lakh people, 1.2 lakh the startup have been it has been established. And very important point here is that you said again, time and again, the startups in the climate scenario, climate change thing, and second is environmental related startup. In that part, the major part is contributed by the startup ecosystem. And it's almost important, the second important point is that when you examine dissect the startup, the organization, or in other words the distribution, half of the thing has been supported by, directly or indirectly, by the women people. So gender parity, gender diversity is also making the system, the startup ecosystem, more vital. And that is most important thing in the present day context also, because we need to bring in a lot of people with a lot of, because they need to make an informed decision. So that is the reason why this particular, the discussion is also important, the startup ecosystem also, because it is having a very important thing. And within the last 8 years, if you see it, the kind of impact it has on the general public, it is much, much better. And why? Because the startup has been developed under certain principles. One is, fine, every one of us understand that profitability is one important thing. The second important thing is that responsibility. That's what you said. Because social responsibility, because everyone, whether it's an industrial house or individual, they have a responsibility to pay back the society, pay back whatever the profit they are having it. So that is why this startup ecosystem is very, very important.
Dr. Sharma, would you like to add something to this?
Yes, Dr. Sujata. In fact, what Dr. Venkatraman has highlighted, there are a lot of challenges and problems related to the environment and environmental sector, whether it is a population or the increasing number of electronic devices, or the huge amount of the waste, or the scarcity of water. These all issues, they require kind of innovative solutions, because we cannot go by the traditional kind of practices. We need some kind of innovative solutions, and that those innovative solutions, they also not only simply remain solutions, they should be converted into proper businesses also. That way, setting up these startups or entrepreneurship, a lot of things are being done in different areas. For example, in case of waste management itself is a huge sector in the environment field, where you talk about the solid waste management or the different other kind of waste management, electronic devices, electronic.
We talk about recycling also.
These solutions are either in the form of recycling, reusing, refurbishing, or something. Different kind of solutions are there, and in fact that leads towards the innovation. And if your innovation is worth converting into a business, that will be a kind of a startup initiative. And if this startup is scalable and that can be spread in a different other parts of the country, then that is a kind of a requirement of the time. So various areas are there where these innovations and startups are required. I gave you example of waste management, pollution control, ecosystem restoration, biodiversity or natural resource management. Number of areas are there. We will talk about them later on.
So we have heard from our experts about areas where innovative solutions are done and where there is a lot of need for innovation to be done for the benefit of the society at large and for the environment. So when innovative solutions are developed, this creates possibilities for startups, as our experts hinted. So what are the areas when we look at if a student is interested in taking up a startup, or he or she has some idea? So what are the major areas that when a student is looking at doing something in environmental sciences, what are the areas that you would suggest that there is a scope for work or need for the hour to do something? What are the possibilities?
To give you a response, direct response, we have just introduced to our viewers the global challenges. Okay, this global challenges, how to address it, that is a very important aspect. The second important thing is the global arena. United Nations also has come out with the what you call the Sustainable Development Goals, a transformation from Millennium Development Goals to Sustainable Development Goals. So that is a critical point for us, a reference kind of point, because to answer your question, so this SDG, if it is taken as a reference point, because it has been structured in 17 goals. In fact, every aspect of human beings, their welfare, the what you call the economy aspect, the biological resources, and what kind of lifestyle people should have, that everything has been structured in that 17 goals. In fact, in our discussion also, if you see this, the startup in related with the environment sciences can be discussed, taking into account the SDGs also. For instance, you talked about SDG 2. That is how to increase the agriculture production. And for another example is that sustainable consumption, climate actions, SDG 13. So gender equality is there, SDG 5. So that can be discussed
even
in the
clean
particular.
Water.
Yes, very, very important thing for a human.
In fact, when we talk about the agriculture production, increase in the agriculture production, there also we'll have to take care of the environmental issues, because when we are thinking of increasing the production, means we will be using more of the fertilizers, more of the chemicals, and these kind of different kind of that crops also, those who consume more water. So that kind of consideration is very much required, because whatever kind of development or new production is taking place in the world, that has to take care of the environmental issues. And from that point of view, we'll have to find the innovative ways, because we cannot depend on the traditional kind of the measures and mechanism. If we are using the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, that will be certainly harmful for the environment, for the land, for the water, for all these natural resources. So we'll have to think what are the alternatives for those, what are the innovative solutions for those.
Even there is one of the SDGs about grow affordable and clean energy. That is also there.
That is also very important.
And that is a growing area where lots of startups are coming up.
In fact, to add, sir has brought a very pivotal point, because the kind of transformation in agriculture we have seen in the last 7 decades, mainly the chemical intensive agriculture we've practiced, and that has led to a lot of environmental problems. So we need to look for certain alternative, and that alternative should definitely eco-friendly, first point. The second important point, it should be regenerative in nature, and third important point is that the stakeholders, particularly the farmers, should also get the benefits. And in this point, if it's a very important point Sarah was mentioned, is that because when you talk about chemical intensive fertilizers, particularly the urea and kind of things, so very important development in the recent past, in 1 or 2 years if you see it, is that no more we are using the the urea. So the government of India is asking the farmers to go for nano urea, so wherein the efficiency of the fertilizer application that will be improved, and the farmers also will be getting a lot of benefits. So the doubling the farmers' income is also a very important part of this government of India's initiative, farmers' principles. So in that way, also many of the startups have come up. The main focus is how to increase the agriculture production. The second important point is that sustainability of that in fact, how that agro ecosystem will be sustainable. Third important thing is that can this initiative or the government programs or policies, can it increase the income of the farmers, livelihood security of the rurals? So in that way, this agriculture discussion also can be, agriculture startups that can be discussed.
In fact, this concept of sustainability is very important, because when we talk about the environmental issues and think of some innovative solution in that context, sustainable material, sustainable infrastructure, and sustainable other things that is required. If we talk about the building constructions, for example, in case of building constructions, now we are going towards the new type of material which are eco-friendly, sustainable, and durable, cost-effective. These all aspects are being considered, because the traditional way of construction of buildings, that's not helping. We need them to be eco-friendly, green buildings sometimes we call them, from the environment point of view, more light, more that kind of ventilation, more airy. These all things are required. So that way, this is also happening. Similarly, in case of infrastructure development, whether it is a road infrastructure or any kind of infrastructure, in that also these innovative initiatives are required. So the areas where we can think of innovative solutions, they can be named as a green building, sustainable material, sustainable infrastructure, and green transportation is also very important. In the recent times, you might have seen a number of e-vehicles have come on the roads. So that is basically solution for these environmental problems. And e-vehicle, if we talk about, or the green transportation we talk about, a lot of innovations are taking place, whether it is a design of the vehicle, or the size of the vehicle, or the material of the vehicle, because we'll have to make it more efficient.
Even the construction of the batteries.
Batteries also. Battery is a very focused area now, because we are trying to develop batteries which are light in weight, more in durability, and also which are environment friendly, that kind of. So this is a area where a lot of innovation is required, or a variety of researches are being conducted, and that's not only the innovation and research. In fact, based on those, a lot of startups also have come up. They are for the development of the batteries, for the charging of the batteries, providing different kind of other facilities. This is happening.
So, any other areas you would like to highlight?
Yes, certainly. In case of climate change, or climate
for discussion part, we can have, for example, agriculture related startups, one important area. The second is the waste management thing, and climate change technologies, which will focus on the mitigation, adaptation, resilience also. Is in that one we can talk about all the transportation, green transportation, green buildings. So energy, renewable energy. So everything can be discussed. Waste management also. Even the concept of circular economy is also coming up in in the great strides. So that all can be discussed. I mean, in fact, these are the prime areas that has to be focused.
In fact, in case of green transportation itself, besides these electric vehicles, which are focusing on increasing the efficiency, design, or the lightweight or battery technology, or fast charging infrastructure, etc., there are other areas also, like alternative fuels. Alternative fuel is also very important. A lot of new developments are taking place. For example, in case of hydrogen fuels or biofuels or fuel cell technology, these innovation startups are there. Similarly, another important area in this green transportation could be the smart transport management. Because when we talk about the pollution due to the vehicles, and if we talk about these metropolitan cities like Delhi,
smart cities
lot
are
of
also
smart
coming
cities, in that it will help. But if your smart transportation system is there, for example, to monitor the red lights and when the vehicle should move and should stop, these all things are being monitored by the technological interventions, and that is leading to the innovations and startups. Another important thing is, like we know, a lot of emphasis is being given on green vehicles and the metro or some this electrical based buses, etc., for transportation. But the main problem is last mile connectivity. For that purpose also a lot of innovations are being taking place. For example, I would like to say now people are going towards the cycles and newer kind of cycles, bicycles we can say, the e-bicycles also,
Yeah.
e-scooters. E-scooters are not being used for the long traveling purpose, but for this kind of last mile solution, last mile connectivity. These e-vehicles, e-small vehicles like e-scooter or the bicycles, they are helping. Drones are also being used for the different purposes. Instead of moving on the road by the different other vehicles, for example, for the delivery of the medicines or delivery of some food or delivery of the chemicals or some fertilizers in the fields, drones are being used. A lot of robots are also being designed for that purpose. This kind of things are happening even in case of green transportation. Different kind of innovative applications, mobile apps are also available. They are providing you different information about when the bus will come, when these all vehicles will be available, where all these charging stations are there. So that is basically a step towards increasing the innovative mindset or solutions to these or environmental problems and developing startups.
Even eco-friendly products are coming up, which
Yes.
are means you have those
In
biodegradable
fact, I would like to
products.
tell you the eco-friendly solutions like using the plant products. Lot of the plates and those cups and these all things are being prepared as a replacement of the plastic products,
Yeah.
because plastic is creating a problem. So we need to address this problem at two levels. One, at reducing the consumption of these plastic and these non-biodegradable materials. So there also innovation is required. And second is what kind of new products could be done. For example, bioplastics are there now. Bioplastic is an innovation. That is not only innovation, now it has converted into a big industry. Lot of businesses and startups have come up for generating new kind of bioplastics. So that is happening. Yes.
So, would you like to reflect on the government support that is available to the startups which are coming up? What kind of, though there are schemes like Startup India and all, but apart from that, any other support mechanisms which are existing?
When you look at the startup ecosystem, because as far as the funding is concerned, because startup itself is having certain challenges. The most important challenge is the finance part of it. So they have to get enough fund, because the feasibility, economic feasibility, everything is very important thing. Government of India is trying to provide a lot of fund, initial seed money kind of thing. Thereafter, it also provides a certain tax exemptions also from capital gain, or for few years at least tax exemption will be there. Other than that thing, every ministry also is under their portfolio. If there is any startup is coming up, they are trying to provide all the supports. And definitely it is the financial institutions, even the banks, they are also encouraged to provide funds to the viable startups.
And I suppose this is also referred to as the green financing.
Green finance part, yeah, it's very
even NABARD and other.
Sujata, we have a call from of the audience, so we can take call. Yes, please. हाँ, अपनी बात कहिए, कौन है लाइन पर? So we can continue, in fact.
So we were talking about green finance, which is through initiatives such as Green Bonds Framework is there, and NABARD is there. Then Green Refinance Scheme is there by NABARD. So there are many such schemes. Would you like to?
In fact, these are the schemes by the Government of India. So when you talk about Government of India's initiatives for promoting innovation in startup in environmental sector, various kind of initiatives have been taken place.
Am I audible to the panel?
Yes, please.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone present in the panel. I am a student of IGNOU,
Yes, अपना नाम
MSc
बताइए.
Environment Science. I want to work for radiation testing to save human life. When companies make mobile, they test according to standards. But what is the condition right now after 4 or 5 years? I want to test that thing. What other opportunities you suggest related to today's theme? of event.
Like to respond. What is your name? Can you hear me? Are you still with us? I think in this case we'll have to discuss separately for that purpose, because this radiation field, how it is related to this environment, that I think.
What the question is that he wanted to establish
Sir,
a
my
start.
name is Pankaj.
Yes, yes.
He wanted to establish a
Pankaj,
startup.
you want to start?
Yes, I can hear you.
You want to start? You want to start a startup in this field?
Your voice is very low. Can you repeat, please?
You want to have a startup in this field that you are working in radiation? What kind of work
Sir,
you are doing?
I am working to test the radiations with my Arduino devices and other things, whatever available with me.
Radiation of the electronic devices whichever we have around
mobile
us.
phones.
And that testing you have done, that is a kind of some innovative way you have
Sir,
designed
if
a device?
I buy a mobile,
Okay.
after that time company tests that mobile, that is very good in condition and not harmful for human life. But after that, 4 or 5 years, anyone is not testing what is the condition of that electronics device.
Yes, that's
I want
right.
to test that.
Yes.
So, have you developed any product or any mechanism? Do you have any idea about that, or at
You-
what stage are you?
Yeah, I am testing at various stages.
And you want to convert it into a startup?
Right now, I am having some difficulties to arrange the radiation testing equipments also, but
Okay,
it will
that-
be in future.
Okay, so you can contact some nearby laboratory or the incubator which are dealing with this kind of radiation testing or something, and we can help you in finding the right kind of lab or incubator, because these things can be done only particular lab. And equipment, I think
No,
they...
I am from technical background. I can make the devices, but if I will go for to buy the device, then it will be costly.
No, that's why I'm suggesting to contact the labs or nearby labs or the incubators, because there you need not to buy the devices. You can use them and then can experiment whatever you are doing, can get results.
Okay, thank you.
That you can do. And if you want to convert it into a startup or a kind of some business, then you'll have to come out with a business plan for that purpose, because that should be scalable and should have a revenue model in it.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to test each and every mobile. Is that in safe condition or not right now?
That's
After 4
why
or 5 years.
that's why I'm suggesting for testing testing purpose, you can create your some setup for on a pilot basis, and then can make it
Okay,
available.
accordingly I will contact. I will make some documentation also for that.
That I think
And
you
then-
can contact us separately. We will discuss that and what kind of support or guidance we can provide you. We can connect you with someone, some other
Yes,
expert
definitely.
also.
Hope you received my number also, and accordingly I will be in touch with you also.
That I think, yes, we will try to do that, but you can separately write to a mail, director NCIDE at ignou.ac.in.
Okay, surely. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so we were talking about the renewable energy and energy storage devices that are being now developed. So in case of energy storage devices, we know that a variety of batteries are being developed, and the problems are there huge amount, huge size, huge weight. And second most important concern related to them is that is the waste management.
And Dr. Sharma, it is now time for a break. We will take a short break and join back. So, we welcome you back to this session. We were talking about various areas which are there for opportunities in startups opportunities for startups in environmental sciences. So we have discussed a number of areas like renewable energy is there, energy efficiency is there, waste management, and sustainable agriculture. So any other area that is gaining importance now?
See, in fact, you mentioned about a very important area, agriculture. A few things I just wanted to mention, recap kind of thing. In agriculture, when you look at it, the main issue is to increase agriculture production. And the second important thing is that how best the farmers will be informed regarding the market, regarding the weather parameters, weather information, and whatever the produce they are producing at their farm, how best best price they can get it. So, in this regard, many of the startups have come up and they are doing wonderful job. For instance, if you look at it, the most important thing is the AgroStar. It's a startup. So the basic purpose, objective of this particular startup is to provide information, weather information to the farmers. So this particular startup is operating in the drier areas of a country like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan. So wherein the weather information is a very important role for farming activity. That's a very important startup. The second important thing is that for any farming activity, purchasing the instruments is very important. Implements is important. What kind of information the farmers should be given. For example, I wanted to purchase a tractor. So by a kind of an app, I'll be getting to know that which particular tractor is better. So this startup has been established called Tractor Junction. So which provides information regarding all the tractors. So in no time, the farmers will be getting the information about the tractors, and also they will get the expert advice. So which one for which field this particular instrument can be purchased. Another startup is Fussel. It's a very good one. Why in this particular startup, the main thing is that they'll be establishing an instrument in the farmer's field. So that instrument will be providing the details about the crop health, soil health, when the water should be irrigated, what is the health of the cropland. So this information is provided by this instrument. It's a Fussel startup. It's a wonderful thing. Next one is that, for example, this Village Agro. It's a very nice startup. Why? Because in this startup, the focus is that the farmers are producing nowadays the organic products. See, it's organic products to which market those products can be sold and how much money they'll be getting it. So this Village Agro is also doing wonderful job as far as the marketing of the organic produce is concerned. So in a way, if you see it in the Himalayan state particularly, there is more focus on the organic agriculture. Himachal, Sikkim, northeastern region, wherein the use of chemical fertilizers is very, very less. So that way, this is very, very important.
In fact, in these all examples was Dr. Venkatraman has given, you might have noticed one thing, that each of these startup is addressing one or other problem related to the environment, whether it is agroforestry or the fossil weather forecasting, providing the weather information. Problem was there that the farmer did not know when the rain could be there, what will be the temperature or the wind speed, etc. If they are given this information well in advance, then I think they will be alert and they will be growing better yield also. So these all things are giving rise to the startups and innovations. For example, I would like to tell you, we are using the drinkable water through these plastic bottles or some this kind of arrangement, plastic polythenes. These all things are being used. But as a solution for these all, what people have done, the water ATM is a very important concept that has come. Water ATM are being installed in various localities, even in the railway platforms also, where you can have a drinking water with a certain kind of payment. So these are the concepts which are finding solution to certain problems, scarcity of water, scarcity of drinkable water. Similarly, when you talk about the water in the coastal areas, you might have heard in Israel, the saline water is being treated, and that is giving us a drinkable water. So that is an innovation and research And similar kind of things are required in different other areas also, where we have polluted water or some toxic water. There these all things should be treated, and then we can have a drinkable water. So these are the areas. Similarly, one very important thing you might have noticed, nowadays in the metros or near these bridges, there is a vertical gardening kind of thing. So vertical gardening, because we are not having a proper space for horizontal gardens, but still we need greenery, and the importance of plants and trees is well recognized. So for that purpose, what is a concept innovative? That is the vertical gardening. Vertical gardening or vertical farming is also taking place in many areas. Similarly, I would like to tell you one more example. Like in many houses, their rooftop is very plain, and then is having lot of sunlight during the day. So especially designed rooftop tiles have been designed. They are taking solar energy and converting that into electrical energy, and they through batteries they are being stored in a different other forms also, storage form. So I think we have a call from Jharkhand. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes, I am grateful to NCIDE for allowing me to join the session, and very warm wishes to all the panelists and Dr. O.P. Sharma sir, and my best wishes for the Bharatiya New Year to all of you. I am representing here Serve Council. At Serve Council, we are not just a group of individuals, but are young social entrepreneurs with a vision for a better world, a world where technology and social actions intersect to drive environmental conservation, promote livelihoods among vulnerable communities, and advance the sustainable development goals. Sir, it happened one day I was sitting with my mentor, Shri S.K. Jagirdar sir, and I was just discussing some of my assignments of a course which I was doing with World Bank Foundation. So there, the Serve Trees initiative, the idea came into our mind. The Serve Trees initiative epitomizes our commitment to this vision. With Serve Trees, we have made tree plantation easier and more accessible than ever before. Environmentally conscious individuals can simply visit our website, select a tree of their choice, and make a contribution. From there, our dedicated team ensures that the tree is planted in the ground, nurturing it with care. But we don't stop there. We provide the planter with a tree certificate bearing a unique blockchain ID, guaranteeing the utmost transparency and accountability in our process. At Serve Trees, we are not just planting trees, it's about empowering communities. By partnering with farmers, especially women communities, to take care of the trees, we not only ensure a higher survival rate, but provide them with an opportunity to diversify their income. And we have got our technical integration for this initiative with Flowcard, which is not just a technical tool, but a driving force behind the positive change. By integrating technology into our efforts, we are not only maximizing our impact, but also setting a precedent for others to follow.
Samrat, I will intervene here.
Yes,
we would be more interested in knowing how your Serve Council, this is a startup initiative by you, how it is contributing towards the environmental issues or environmental problems.
Sir, at Serve we have integrated digital and blockchain technology with social actions for environment conservation. Here we are bridging the gap between urban population, the community in the urban population which is environment conscious, and the rural population which is the frontline force fighting against the climate change. What happens, like for example, any of the panelists or anyone who is watching the show or any individual can just log into our website, select a tree to be planted. That tree, after being paid by the visitor, is planted into the ground by the farmer. And then using AI and blockchain technology, which is enabled to us by Flowcard, the entire process of that tree
Samrat,
plantation.
it's a fine. You are doing wonderful work in the field of environmental protection and promoting these all aspects. Samrat is our student, IGNOU student. He's a innovator and entrepreneur. So thank you very much for joining with us. Continuing with his startup, I would like to tell you, because their startup is working in the field of tree plantation also in different areas. For that, I think there are certain issues where you should know in which area, in which soil, what kind of plant could be grown. This is also problem area,
Yes.
and a lot of efforts are being done, research is being done. I know in IIT Delhi also certain kind of model and applications have been developed, which can tell us in which area what is the health of the soil, what is the right kind of the soil, and which kind of plant could be grown in that area. Particularly when we talk about the highways or expressways around them, alongside them, a lot of plantation is being done. Every kind of plant cannot be planted anywhere. So for that purpose also initiatives have been taken in the form of innovations, and now they are being converted into startups also.
And Dr. Sharma, in line with this, how are IGNOU students taking up startups in this area, and what is the present scenario?
Yes, you have seen one example. Samrat was with us. He is a good innovator, and he has taken this initiative, Serve Council, and along with that also Deep Forest was another initiative by him. This is by IGNOU student itself. And we have another student, that's Dinesh Ujjwal, whom we have given the best startup award also this year, 2023. He has designed this Go Garbage startup. That Go Garbage is a startup which is basically a waste management startup. He is working in a town of Rajasthan state, where he collects the different kind of the waste, including the solid waste, electronic waste, and plastic waste. These all things, segregate them, and then also convert them, some of them, into a useful the products also. So this kind of initiative he has taken. If he can connect with us, then he can tell us more in detail about this startup. So this similarly, there are many other students also. This time we gave a best innovation award to one of our student, Dhruven. He thought of a problem of that drainage in a metropolitan city. And in drainage we noticed that a lot of plastic waste and other waste they are thrown, and then they choke the drainage system. So he thought of this problem, and he designed a innovative solution for that purpose, so that these all things are segregated before they enter into the drain. So this kind of initiatives are being taken by IGNOU students. I think many more will come and with this kind of programs, because the purpose of organizing these innovation startup focused program, sector-based focused program, is to encourage them, to motivate them to think of the problems in different sectors, particularly in case of environment also, and then they can find these solutions, innovative solutions, and can set up these startups.
We have listened to one of the student of IGNOU who is working in the area of radiation energy. What would you like to say for to other students who are interested in taking up some innovative initiative in this area? How can they proceed, and how can IGNOU facilitate them and support them?
In fact, in the beginning, Dr. Venkatraman had highlighted different kind of challenges, problems, and issues related to the environment and environmental sector. If we we have a call from Rajasthan. Yes, please.
Hello.
हाँ
Good
बोलिए.
afternoon, sir.
हाँ
Good
बोलिए.
afternoon, sir. So I am from Rajasthan. My name is Dinesh Ujjwal, and I am presenting my startup Go Garbage.
Yes, Dinesh, we were talking about you only. It's good that you have joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you. We are providing organized and systematic waste collection, segregation, and redevelopment at under single roof. Okay, and in this era of climate change, we need to convert our all type of waste into resources. So we are collecting all kind of waste from commercial and non-commercial places using traditional system with technology. Like we are developed a mobile application to appointment for collecting waste, and you can know about your waste rate before you are ordering. And after that, our collector will be reach at your home and collecting all type of waste using a digital weighing machine. And then thereafter, he will pay for that all waste. एंड आफ्टर जैसे कि अभी हमारा जो कॉन्सेप्ट है बेसिक सा, सबसे पहले हमने गांवों से शुरू किया. सबसे बड़ा अभी तक जो भी कॉन्सेप्ट चलते थे कि स्टार्टअप्स हैं मेट्रो सिटी में होंगे या कोई सिटी में होंगे, बट हमने गांवों से किया और बहुत ही इफेक्टिवली ये काम कर रहा है. जैसे अभी बात करें आज अपन के इन्वायरमेंट साइंसेज के अंदर कितना है स्टार्टअप, तो अगर जब तक हमारा वेस्ट रिसोर्स में कन्वर्ट नहीं होगा तब तक हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. और इन केस चलो रिसोर्स में कन्वर्ट भी करें, बट करें कैसे? कलेक्शन अगर अपना सिस्टमेटिक होगा तो ही हो पाएगा, अदरवाइज नहीं हो पाएगा. तो हमने इसके साथ हेलो
यस हाँ बोलते रहिए, बताइए.
हाँ, तो इसके अंदर हमने सिस्टमेटिक वहीं से कर लिया कि जहाँ से वेस्ट जनरेट हो रहा है उसी को ही हमने सिस्टम में और ऑर्गेनाइज डाल दिया. अदरवाइज वो क्या करता है कि वेस्ट है तो वेस्ट को कचरे के बिहार पे हर कहीं डाल दिया इधर उधर. अपने हमने वो जो एंड पॉइंट या एंड यूजर था वहीं से हमने इसको वेस्ट को एक तरह से, मैं कह रहा हूँ, मेरा टैगलाइन दिया गार्बेज टू गोल्ड. तो हमने उसको यही कहा कि ये गार्बेज नहीं, ये गोल्ड है. तो जब उसको पैसा मिल रहा है या उसको रिसोर्स बन रहा है तो वो खुद वहीं से एंड यूजर ही हमें उस फॉर्मेट में देता है कि हम इजीली उसको और थोड़ा सा कर उसको अपडेट करके और फिर आगे रिसाइकलर तक दे पाएं. तो ये हमारा स्टार्टअप है जो इन्वायरमेंट के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल भी सिद्ध हो रहा है और साथ ही साथ लोगों के इससे अर्निंग भी हो रही है. और हमारा जो कचरा बिखरने या इधर उधर लिटरिंग ऑफ गार्बेज का था वो भी हमारा कहीं ना कहीं कम हो गया है.
ये बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है दिनेश उज्ज्वल आपका. और इसमें इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग अगर हम कहें कि नोटिस करने वाली बात यह है कि ज़्यादातर स्टार्टअप सिटीज़ में या मेट्रो सिटीज़ में अभी इनिशिएट होते रहे, लेकिन इन्होंने थोड़ा सा हट के व्हाट ही डिड कि गांव में जाकर के रूरल एरिया में, बिकॉज प्रॉब्लम अगर हम इन्वायरमेंट की बात करें तो इट कैन नॉट बी रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू सर्टेन एरिया, इट्स अ ग्लोबल प्रॉब्लम. और ग्लोबल जब प्रॉब्लम होती है तो हमें वो सारे एरियाज को कंसिडर करने की ज़रूरत है. और अगर हम ये जो वेस्ट की बात करते हैं तो वेस्ट जो है रूरल में भी उतना ही है जितना हम सिटीज़ में देखते हैं. और रूरल एरिया में अगर इस तरीके का इनिशिएटिव लिया जा रहा है, एंड दैट टू एक और जो खास बात इनके केस में है, जो वेस्ट टू गोल्ड की जो बात कर रहे हैं, दिस काइंड ऑफ अवेयरनेस ऑल्सो नीड टू बी क्रिएटेड. क्योंकि जब हम एक बात करते हैं कि क्या क्या एरियाज हैं स्टार्टअप के या इनोवेशन के, तो मैं कहूँगा कि उनमें से एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया ये भी है टू क्रिएट अवेयरनेस अबाउट दीज इशूज. और ये इस बात के लिए कि इनका सॉल्यूशन जरूरत है और व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सॉल्यूशन दे कुड डू. तो उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जैसा आप बात पूछ रही थी डॉक्टर सुजाता,
को रेलिवेंट बनाना कंज्यूमर के लिए और मार्केट क्रिएट करना.
यस, जो आप बात कर रही थी कि इस फील्ड में हम किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज यही है कि यू बी सेंसिटिव टुवर्ड्स योर सराउंडिंग. जितने भी इश्यूज हैं रिलेटेड टू एनवायरमेंट और क्लाइमेट चेंज, बायोडाइवर्सिटी और द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, वाटर, लैंड एंड दीज ऑल थिंग्स, उनको थोड़ा सा आइडेंटिफाई करिए. व्हाट आर दी चैलेंजेस, व्हाट आर दी प्रॉब्लम्स, और फिर उनको सोचिए कि हम इनका सॉल्यूशन क्या दे सकते हैं. क्या मैं उसका कोई सॉल्यूशन दे सकता हूं? जैसे कभी आपने देखा कि दिनेश उज्ज्वल ही थॉट ऑफ दिस प्रॉब्लम, रूरल एरिया में रहते हुए ही रिकॉग्नाइज्ड ये प्रॉब्लम है. सॉल्यूशन क्या किया जाएगा कि देन ही स्टार्टेड कलेक्टिंग द वेस्ट फ्रॉम द सोर्स, फ्रॉम द पीपल हु आर जनरेटिंग दैट. सो दैट इज ए काइंड ऑफ थिंग दैट नीड टू बी डन. आप सेंसिटिव रहिए, प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई करिए, गैप एरियाज को आइडेंटिफाई करिए. इवन जहां जहां स्टार्टअप्स और इनोवेशंस अवेलेबल हैं, मैं कहूँगा इन दोज ऑल्सो देर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट, फर्दर वैल्यू एडिशन. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वैल्यू एडिशन यू कैन डू? फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे हम कहेंगे बहुत अच्छे तरीके से रिकॉग्नाइज करके ये किया गया, प्लास्टिक की जगह हमने पेपर कप्स यूज करना शुरू कर दिया. लेकिन देयर वाज ए प्रॉब्लम कि उनके अंदर की अगर कोटिंग देखेंगे अगेन इट इज अ मेनी टाइम्स प्लास्टिक कोटेड. सो दिस सॉल्यूशन इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दैट ऑल्सो, क्योंकि वो प्लास्टिक कोटिंग क्यों की गई थी, सो दैट वाटर इज नॉट लीकिंग or that it is stronger to making the cup stronger also. So we need to find solution what kind of material we can create so that it is having strength as well as water is not coming out of the
even
walls.
it is being created of eco-friendly materials so that it can be utilized.
Reused.
Yes.
Reused
Similarly,
and
if we talk about
reused.
the packaging system, क्योंकि packaging अगर हम चाहे किसी भी चीज की packaging बात करते हैं, lot of waste material is generated when we remove the package. It's most of the time non-biodegradable packaging system. तो वहाँ पैकेजिंग में हमें पैकेजिंग मटेरियल इनोवेटिव डेवलप करने की जरूरत है. एंड देन इफ यू आर एबल टू डेवलप दैट इनोवेटिव मटेरियल फॉर पैकेजिंग, क्योंकि पैकेजिंग बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस है, बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस है. यू डू एनीथिंग, एवरीथिंग रिक्वायर वन और अदर काइंड ऑफ पैकेजिंग. सो दैट्स रिक्वायर्ड. सोलर एनर्जी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट दीज डेज. और सोलर एनर्जी की हम बात करते हैं कि अभी तो हमने देखा है कि Government of India has taken initiative to install solar panels on different houses, and then that energy generated that will be contributing toward the main grid of electricity. So this kind of initiative, that's by the government, but even in that also you need to think of innovative solar panels so that they can be installed easily. They are lightweight and also their disposal is easy.
There is a startup which has come up, which is listed in top startups in the environment science, that is Sunroof, that is providing solutions.
So Sunroof kind of startup, they are being developed. और सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रही है कि जब भी हम जैसे सोलर पैनल्स की बात करते हैं या हम बैटरीज की बात करते हैं, तो ऑन वन साइड दे आर सॉल्विंग वन प्रॉब्लम, but at the other side they are creating problem also, because after their life is over their disposal is creating problems. So that field is very important for innovation as well as for startups also. Recycling of the batteries, how one can do recycling. A lot of batteries are being used nowadays. Cars have come on road, scooters have come on road, even I have heard the metro is also being thought to be on a battery, solar battery or these all things.
Even there is a problem of soiling on the solar panels.
Yes.
So even there is a startup which uses a robotic technology for cleaning the solar panels, so that the yield of the solar panel, the modules will be
reduce.
much. Yeah.
In fact, this problem, when we have the solar panels, particularly along the roadside, they get dust, lot of dust, and when they get dust, so the energy generation is reduced. So one of our student, Ajay Sharma from Varanasi, he recognized this problem and he thought of finding a solution, so how these can be cleaned without having a much infrastructure. So these are the areas where these innovations are required, and we can say we should be very clear about what we want to do, what is the problem, and what solution we are thinking. And when you are thinking of the solution, you should think whether it is doable or not, whether it is again creating some problem to the environment or simply reducing that problem. That is also very important, because sometimes we are creating a replacement or alternative material for a particular material which is not environment friendly, but the material which you have developed, again that is creating problems, so that we should be careful for those all.
Even one of our students has worked on Kumbi Kagas, something like that.
Yes, from Northeast. These are the examples which we would like to share with all of our viewers, that IGNOU students are doing wonderful work. 3-4 examples we have taken, and this Jal Kumbi. Jal Kumbi is a great problem, we know, and he thought of how we can find a productive material from those. So that was the innovation, and if that innovation is converted into a proper business, so it will become a startup.
He
also.
has made developed it into technology to make
Yes,
paper out of it.
I think there is a
So-
call from somebody.
So now,
No.
so
Okay.
now it is time to conclude the session. The discussion will go on, so we will take up in the upcoming sessions and episodes of the series. So, thank you. Thanks to our experts for joining in, and thanks to the viewers. Thank you.